Okay, let's get started. Hey horror freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. If this is the first time here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get a notification every single time that I post a video, and I post every single week. As you can see in the title, on today's video, I'm going to be giving you my full review with spoilers of VHS 94. That is a Shudder original, that is the fourth of the anthology series VHS. Now, as always, all my reviews are with spoilers, but if you don't want them just to see if the movie is worth watching or not, on the description box down below, there you're going to find my spoiler-free review on my blog, because I like to give you guys the options. So giving that little talk disclaimer ahead, let's get into the video. So like I said, VHS 94 is the fourth one of the anthology franchise VHS. Now this one is a found footage horror anthology series, in case that you have never watched it, or maybe this is the first time that you're hearing about it. Now basically this one specifically is going to follow a SWAT team who stumbles upon a sinister cult compound and its collection of VHS tapes. Now the film is 1 hour and 40 minutes long, and it's divided into 5 different segments or stories, we want to call them that way, because it's an anthology. Now I'm not going to go into the deep of every single one, so I'm giving spoilers because I'm telling you a little bit about them, but I am not going too deep since I don't want to spoil you the whole thing, because it's going to ruin the experience, if you understand me. So I'm going to briefly talk about each individual one, and at the end is my opinion. Now the first one is called Holy Hell, and it's actually directed by Jennifer Reeder. This one basically shows the SWAT team entering into the building, how they're going to do the movement, they're talking to the cameraman, what the codes mean and what they're supposed to be doing. So they start showing what is on the inside, but of course they come across some kind of cult people. They see some eyes, people sitting. It's really weird. Now something that I want to mention is that of all the 4 movies, this one is the one that feels the most that is actually taped on VHS. And I did a really good job in trying to mimic the 94 vibes. If you have just watching it randomly and you don't know, you could be thinking that this is an actual movie made in 1994. So points for that. Now quickly after this, we go to the second one, that is a Storm Drain. That this one is directed by Chloe O'Connell. Now this one, it's about a reporter that is talking about a rat man under a sewers, a kind of something underground. And she eventually encounters herself with the rat man, and it's really creepy, weird, and disgusting, if you ask me. And it's basically her trying to do the report with the cameraman, but of course things don't go as expected. Now, don't expect the movie to be too deep or meaningful or have a super high meaning or moral story. The reality is that these movies are just made for entertainment, fun, and just to, I wouldn't say sit down and chill, because they're kind of gruesome and disturbing a little bit, but they aren't that much. But at the same time, it's not the type of movie that you will sit down and relax, because I wasn't relaxed, but I really enjoyed it. But the reality is that these movies are just to watch it for fun, and not just sit down and give it a meaning to every single thing. So I'm saying that because I know that sometimes anthologies, they do have a meaning behind it, or they can connect between each other. But this one, I don't want you to go with that on mind. Just enjoy the movie. In case that this is the first one that you are ever watching, in case that you have watched the previous, then of course this doesn't mean nothing because you already know it. Now the third one, it's called The Empty Wake, and this directed by Simon Barrett. Now this one follows a mortician that is working for the very first time, but a tornado warning came off, so of course no one is coming, so it's just the mortician with the body. And the body's kind of making noises and some kind of spooky things. Now this one looks kind of similar to the autopsy of Jane Doe, just because of the mortician being with body and things happening. It kind of follows that ghost story kind of format, if you want to call it that way. Pretty fun. Actually the one that I enjoyed the most of all of them. I don't have a preference in reality, I do really like them all, but this one is the one I like it most. I don't know, it just, for me, it was the most interesting one. Fourth one, it's called The Subject, but this one is about a scientist that is doing some crazy experiments on his lab, a mad scientist, something that is pretty simple, something that we have seen before, but it's go way crazy. Like he has no boundaries, and it's really gore, but fun, something that we can expect on this type of movie to reality. So it's not that it's an impressive thing in case that this is your first time. But if not, it's like, oh yeah, gore, brutality, no boundaries, a lot of blood, maniacs, crazy things, you name it. The last one is Steroids and it's directed by Ryan Prose. This is kind of a mix between vamps and Michigan militia story. It's kind of weird. This one I don't know felt kind of, I don't know. I felt like the script was a little bit shorter than the other ones. I don't know. It felt like they just put it there just for put it. I don't know. It didn't felt right where it was put it. I don't know if maybe it need a little more development in the story, but I don't know. It didn't feel like it actually fit like the whole film. And basically, those are the five stories that go along on the movie. Now, like I said, the thing that I enjoyed the most about this one is, although something that I have said is that I do not like found footage films. Like, I do have some ones that I do like, but it's not my favorite. But on this case, or when it comes to VHS, I do really like these ones, and I can cope with the fact that they are on found footage. And this one, of all of them, it definitely does feel like it was on the 90s and it's on a VHS. Like the whole effects, like the glitches, even sometimes it stays out of focus, and like everything. Like seriously, you feel that you are on the 90s watching a movie that is really old. Like points for that. Seriously, for me, that thing is like the best for the movie because it does feel legit. So I think that the reason why many people like it was because of this. It has really good reviews, and the reality is that it's a really good movie. I wouldn't call it an excellent one, of course. Has their flaws, just like all of them, but definitely I will give it a 4 out of 5, or maybe a 3.5 out of 5. I don't know, it's in the middle, and definitely a 7.5 out of 10. The reality is that it's really enjoyable, really good. It's something good because the reality is that the previous film of the anthology series wasn't that good. So this is supposed to be a reboot, but I am not 100% sure if it's considered a reboot of the franchise. But the reality is that it was really good. A sequel could be coming near soon. It was talked that depending on the success of this one, if a sequel was coming. Now, something that was really smart, it was to put it on Shudder and making it a Shudder original, because a lot of people have Shudder now, and I think that having a streaming service dedicated to horror is a really good thing. It really helps with moving this type of movies, because it's not, if this movie went, for example, to Netflix, this movie doesn't belong on Netflix or maybe Amazon Prime. It definitely does belong on Shudder. So it was a really smart move, and it was even easier to watch it, right? So at the end, I think that this one is a really good movie. Definitely, I would recommend it. You should watch it if you enjoy this type of movies. If you like more meaningful, deep stories, deep characters, maybe plot twists, hidden meaning, better quality, maybe this is not the movie for you, because the reality is that this one is just a movie just to enjoy it, have fun, don't give it much thought. Like I said, a little bit of disturbing by moments, but nothing too weird, nothing too hard. There are things worse out there. I have seen worst. So definitely, if you haven't watched the whole anthology series, you should. The reality is that they're really good. So this is a highly recommendation of mine. And well, this is all for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you have watched it, you haven't. Which one is your favorite of the franchise? I think that this one and the second one are my favorites. Definitely. Maybe I will do a marathon and maybe I can change my opinion. I don't know. But definitely I want to rewatch them all again. And like I said, thank you so much for watching. And I'm going to be see you guys on the next one. Bye.